Here we go.
You really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Hey, motherfucker. What you like to do?
Oh, I don't know. Play chess. Screw.
Well, let's play chess.
They give off to Jonathan Taylor. Jump cutting his way close to the goal line. He's in there. Touchdown. I-N-D-Y. Jonathan Taylor.
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Here's Halliburton into the front court. Mishandled it, but gets a shot. Hits it. Hits it.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
All right, let's get started from a legendary location. I absolutely love it. One of my favorite things to do when I come to Sam Silver Circle here on Fletcher and Shelby is to go around. And I have, over the years when we've done shows, I have put stickers up here of myself. And I love, because I don't know if you can see it right now if you're streaming online or checking it out inside the AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live, but there is a very famous, or infamous if you're me, JMV Suck sticker of me in 1983 rocking my, actually that may be 1982, but I think it's 83, my Phi Slamma Jamma t-shirt for the Houston Cougars back then. And I've got maybe the tightest pair of grape smugglers on of all time. And I swear to you, if you get closer, and I don't know if you want to, if you get closer, Phelan Watson's the on-site engineer with us today. It looks like I'm trying to smuggle on the right side of my body a very small chapstick right there. It's the grape smugglers are as profound as you might think from the mid-1980s right there. But I like to go around and look for the stickers up on the wall. And here's what I also love to do, because we know when it's a Bud Light Blue Friday at Sam Silver Circle, again, Fletcher and Shelby is our location, we have tickets to give away. So we have 5 pair of Cardinals Colts tickets to give away for you over the course of the afternoon, thanks to our friends from Bud Light and Zinc. They will be here too, but 5 pair, I think 1 pair, is that right? 5 pair? All right, 5 pair. 1 pair is going to go with the football toss out there, but you come by and get yourself signed up, and really, and then you can maybe talk me into going to Bullseye as well. You never know with the pregame party as well coming up on Sunday, but your opportunity is really good at just one of the legendary locations here, not just in Indianapolis or not just in downtown or in the area, but in the state of Indiana. There is so much incredible history here. I would love to see you. If you've not been here before, please stop by Sam Silver Circle on a Bud Light Blue Friday, and know this to be true. Their pizza is also legendary here. And a shout-out to Fulton, who already called James the house phone a little bit earlier today to talk with me. So I thought maybe he was going to order a pizza, but it was Fulton calling me on the house phone, as he normally does. That has become routine here at Sam Silver Circle. On a Bud Light Blue Friday, guys, thank you for joining us. And we'll go over all that is happening with the Colts, those that return to practice today. And we've got a lot of conversation to hit here. This is one note. And I do believe this to be a big deal. And not that often you look at components of this team not to be big deals, but to me, Alec Pierce is. Because all that we have loved regarding Daniel Jones so far, and he has been outstanding, certainly one of the shortcomings that people believe is being able to get the ball down the field, the deep ball. And even if he doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, which hasn't mattered 1 ounce so far to everybody out there that thought that that would be the case, it hasn't mattered. But he does have a deep ball threat in terms of Alec Pierce. And what I'm talking about is the deep ball throwing the jump ball, which Alec Pierce is so damn good at going up to get. So Alec Pierce, concussion protocol, we thought maybe he would clear that last week. Later portions of the week had some signs that maybe he was not over it yet, so he did not participate in that game last week against the Raiders. Both he and Grover Stewart are practicing today. Shane Steichen said that Alec Pierce, with his concussion protocol, has passed it, and he will be available against the Cardinals coming up on Sunday. So that offensively is outstanding news. Meantime, cornerback Kenny Moore II and Achilles running back Tyler Goodson, I think, has a groin situation. They have both been ruled out. Joe Bocci, the linebacker, he went on IR, and there was really no explanation behind that. It was really quickly done as they brought in Jermaine Pratt earlier this week. The former Lou Anarumo linebacker while in Cincinnati. Bocci landed on IR due to a foot injury situation. So we'll see where that goes as both Pierce and Stewart were back practicing today. And that part really looks good. The other part that looks good is twofold here. We're going to keep an eyeball on the situation with Kyler Murray out in Arizona as well. We know the backup is Jacoby Brissett. We do know, as we talked about yesterday, Jacoby Brissett does have a win most recently, and that was against a Lou Anarumo defensive team. So I guess that is something to note. But if you've watched the way this Cardinals team has played, it's weird because in late game situations, they have completely screwed it up, as we have witnessed. And that's what has dug them such a significant hole to this point of the season right now. I mean, really messed things up in a major fashion in these late game situations so far. And that has been probably what has been noticed, maybe more so than anything else, is that. But the other thing that I would suggest as well is defensively, they're not that bad. Defensively, they don't look that bad. But the Colts at home, coming off a 46 win last week over the Raiders, and they have looked, with the exception of things and what they did to themselves against the Rams, they have looked outstanding to start the season. Colts had a stretch last week. They scored TDs on 6 consecutive possessions. Remember, we had an argument or a debate regarding red zone opportunities have to get better. Certainly against the Raiders last week, they did get better. And Daniel Jones has stayed very solid. 69% of his passes last week on his way to another Colts victory. I think I mentioned this stat yesterday. 5th in the league in completion percentage, 3rd in passing yards, number 1 overall with a 79.7 ranking in QBR. And that is just exactly what this team offensively needed and what it wanted. That's what it got. Now, the unfortunate portion, we'll see how this goes coming up on Sunday, because you look at this team and how it operates, especially around the 50, and how it's commonplace now, as long as you get to the 50, you're, quote, in field goal range. And maybe this didn't ultimately hold true for Spencer Schrader. But let's just face it, he's been very good so far, been very reliable, and that has been something you could count on. And now that's gone for the season. ACL and MCL injuries cost Schrader his season. We know that the Colts signed Michael Badgley to sustain here moving forward with that kicking role. Now, his career, 82.4%. That is what he has done as a kicker. The problem is, as I mentioned, how you might have to change your philosophy when you get around midfield, is that he has struggled over 40-plus yards. 68% of field goals, 38%, mind you, were really, let's face it, you have to be money. You have to be money from 50-plus now. 38% from 50-plus, which this is something we'll have to watch. But that is certainly problematic. And, again, Schrader, I don't know how much you would count on him hitting from 50, but let's just face it, he's been really good so far, without question. Now, the Colts signed linebacker, as I mentioned earlier, Jermaine Pratt this week. He was released by the Raiders, spent his first 6 years with Lou Anarumo and the Bengals. So he takes the spot of Joe Bocci, where clearly the Colts needed an upgrade at that particular linebacker position. opposite of Zaire Franklin, and we'll see if they can give him, and I mean give him anything whatsoever, give this team anything whatsoever at that position. And I've said this before, I don't mind you giving it a shot because, I mean, what else do you have to ask? The thing that I kind of wonder is I understand how you want to go with those that you have played with or coached in the past, right? I guess it makes sense, but it is a familiar tactic that Lou Anarumo and the Colts have utilized with this particular defense, and they'll do it again with Jermaine Pratt, the linebacker released by the Raiders. So we can hit that. Chris Hagan's going to join us coming up a little bit later on at Fox 59. We've got Cardinals-Colts conversation. It was funny. I was actually talking a little bit earlier about this game. Defensively, the Cardinals are pretty good. They can be good, and they're a lot better. You may look around their roster and not recognize a lot of these names other than maybe Calais Campbell or Budda Baker, but this group is pretty good. It is so ridiculous when you think about what it didn't accomplish last week against the Titans. Had they not had that ridiculous situation on dropping the football before you score a touchdown, and then the interception that turned into a fumble that ultimately had the Cardinals kick it into the end zone and the Titans getting an incredibly cheap touchdown. If not for that, the Cardinals beat the Titans by 3 scores at home, which is entirely what you would expect. But they have, not just last week, but here recently, done to themselves what other teams up until the fourth quarter in games were unable to do. They are beating themselves. And that has certainly been problematic. I often wonder this, the whole dynamic, and maybe it's overblown, and it probably is, because it does come down to personnel. But you have two guys that are very familiar with one another, one offensive, one defensive as head coach. Shane Steichen of the Colts and Jonathan Gannon of the Cardinals. Gannon is the defensive coordinator with the Eagles. Steichen is the offensive coordinator with the Eagles. So this kind of has a meaning coming up on Sunday with these two teams in mind. We'll see if it plays a role because, again, it does come down to players. And obviously there's a lot going on right now with the Cardinals. There may not be a team out there, I'm sure that there is, and that's easy to find, that is in need of a win and to get back on the winning track like the Cardinals. I just don't see that happening. I think this is a game to where we've seen the free-flowing offense of the Colts, especially against the Raiders, feel good. And while that made you, the fans, putting 40 up on the board feel really good, you talk about those 6 straight possessions. You talk about the fluidity in which that they played offensively and put it in the end zone and that margin of victory, even against a Raider team that's not any good. There are similar, I think, signs with the Raiders and the Cardinals, and then you get the Titans coming up next week. And I'll check that. I'm sorry. The Titans in 2 weeks and the Chargers coming up next week. And the Chargers have been struggling recently as well. We know that to be true. So, you have a substantial opportunity to take advantage with this portion of the schedule. And we should mention that some games down the road, things will tighten up a little bit here. The competition will be a little bit more stiff, certainly, for the Colts. So those out there that credit this Colts 4-1 start entirely on what they have witnessed with the competition or lack thereof, that, to me, is worth noting. Because it does get stiff a little bit later on in the season. When we'll see how the role plays as far as injuries are concerned and such. But that is the start today with the Cardinals and the Colts. We have 5 pair of tickets to give away to you. Sam Silver Circle at Fletcher and Shelby, just here around Fountain Square in this particular location, has been here forever. It is legendary. And our friends from Bud Light are here. We cannot wait to see you over the course of the afternoon. I should remind you that we have another high school football Friday night. This is also notoriously a big-time Cathedral hangout. So we know Cathedral coming off a great win over Center Grove last week, feeling really good. But we'll talk about that and more with Bob Lovell coming up at the bottom of the hour from Indiana Sports Talk about this Friday night of high school football. I also should remind you of this. The pairing show is coming up on Sunday. So that's how you know. What's up, Kev? That's how you know that things are right and good to go. The pairing show is coming up on Sunday. That reminder on what is going to be an incredibly busy weekend of sports. And yes, I have to mention what's coming up tomorrow. We know Purdue, Minnesota, Ball State, Western Michigan. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. I'm going to start in right now, if you don't mind. NC State and number 16, Notre Dame. But it is, across the college football landscape, one of the, if not the best matchup. And as I mentioned to Jake a little bit earlier, I think there's good and there's bad, because you get sick and tired of being characterized, as the team that nobody believes in or just getting lucky. I will say this. If people would like to say, hey, you're just lucky in your 25 years, that's fine. I'll take it. I will take it. And I think that those like IU or the Pacers or the Colts off to a 4-1 start, if you're just lucky and it's more about the schedule, you take it. But what that also, I think, provides for teams like IU is a great deal of motivation and useful tactics that Kurt Cignetti has been very good at utilizing in his short time in Bloomington and really over his career so far, that last stop at James Madison. Being able to, the us against the world mentality when it's real. Not when it's BS and, you know what, anybody can say it. But with IU football, it's real. There's still a number of non-believers out there, non-believers that they were a part of the playoffs and they received a gift and it was an easy schedule. You are constantly, if you're IU football, trying to make believers or trying to reprove yourself. I'm not suggesting they look at themselves in the mirror and feel that it's necessary, but let's just face it, the overall nationwide conversation is just like what we hear regarding the Pacers, what we heard last year, what we heard going into the postseason, what we heard into the finals, what we hear about the Pacers going into this year with the injury to Halliburton and the defection of Miles Turner is the constant proving of themselves. The same thing holds true with the Colts and their start. And as I mentioned to Jake a little bit earlier, I think that is an incredibly useful tactic. Kurt Cignetti utilizes it. We have talked about Aaron Neesmith, brought that up in the Pacer Media Day last week. That's something they're going to be able to utilize this season. That works. I think the Colts can use it if you want to use it. Yeah, you could talk about just how easy the schedule has been. The problem is you can't change it up. You can't substitute what you would clarify or again, in your opinion, if it is clear one team is better than the other, you can't sub them in. You got to play the schedule that's in front of you. But being able to utilize that as a level of motivation, I think is important. I think we saw that a year ago with the Pacers. I think we're going to see that this year with the Pacers. And I think we continue to see that with IU. And why I mention that, because when they take on number 3 Oregon and Eugene, there is now one person out there that believes that they're going to win. And that probably includes all of us. Fast, athletic, talented, at home. They can bring offense on you in an absolute landslide. Will IU be able to sustain? And by sustaining here, be able to keep up the pace. You keep up that offensive pace. You do to them what they offensively believe they're going to try to execute with relative ease against you. You do that to them, and then you make them nervous in their own house about what's going on. Well, wait a minute. What about this team hanging in here? What about this quarterback? What about this offense? What about this Surratt guy who is always open? And then, you know what? You keep tight with the football. You don't turn it over. See if you can maybe make Oregon sweat it out at home. And that's what you like about that matchup. I think what I like more so than anything else about it is a tremendous gauge. You're going to find out exactly where you are at this point of the season. And really, you look at it all the way around, you want to go out there and you win, and that's what matters, but you will have other opportunities. It's not like you have this game on your home field, and if you get your doors blown off, everybody's going to write you off. I mean, as long as you keep this, I'm not suggesting you're going to play it to maintain a level of competition with Oregon. But if you can be what you have been and stay competitive here, I hate saying house money or having your cake or eating it too or any of those particular cliches, but that's another feel good. If this thing is tight, pressure will be on the Quacks and Eugene coming up tomorrow, and hopefully IU can do that. 2:30 your coverage begins. Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers, 93 WIBC. I believe the travel time to Eugene, that has compromised our conversation at 5 o'clock today, which would be unfortunate. I know Charles Arbuckle is going to join us, not only talking about the game with the Colts and the Cardinals coming up on Sunday, but also with his knowledge of college football, his breakdown of college football. We will specifically talk about IU and Oregon coming up with Charles. That is in the 5 o'clock hour from ESPN Radio. Mike Wells rejoins us coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. As I mentioned, Chris Hagan is going to be here as well. I am so excited about being back at Sam Silver Circle, just off of Fountain Square, Fletcher and Shelby on a Bud Light Blue Friday. We have the ice cold Bud Light going and 5 pair of Cardinals Colts tickets to give away. I should mention this from last night too. The error at the end of the Phils and the Dodgers game. Man, that is what happens, is it not? When you bobble and you freak out. I'm surprised that stuff, honestly, I'm surprised that stuff doesn't happen more. You're going to say, well, these guys are professionals. They should be better. And while you're absolutely right, I'm sure that stuff like that, I'm surprised that it doesn't happen more because there was an absolute freak out last night. I mean, Kerkering, you could just tell the moment that he bobbled that comebacker from Pajes, you knew he was in trouble. And Realmuto was actually, as a catcher will do, was pointing for him to go to first base, and he had plenty of time to go to first base. But he went home, and if you look behind him, you see the reaction of the infielders. I think Trey Turner was one of them, and you see their reaction with their hands on their head because you saw the catcher pointing to first, and then the pitcher comes home. And even if it were a good throw, it was not going to beat the runner, and that's how the Phillies lose in a Game 4 and knocked out of the NLDS. And on to the NLCS once again, the LA Dodgers, and they await a decisive Game 5. Joel A. Erickson going to join us coming up at 4 o'clock today, James. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Noted Brewers fan, and we'll find out if he's nervous. The Cubs did exactly what the Cubs needed to do, and then last night they left no doubt at Wrigley Field in Chicago in a game number 4. Decisive Game 5 coming up tomorrow from Milwaukee. Joel's going to talk about the Colts and then add to that, I'm sure, coming up. You do have one decisive Game 5 in the ALDS later on tonight. That is the Tigers and the Mariners from Seattle as the Blue Jays await their competition in the ALCS. All right, 239-1070 is that number. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the text line because, James, I want to do that again today. BullseyeEventGroup.com and the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Somebody's already asking me, people are in, do we have Bullseye passes today? We have Bullseye passes to give away today. James, what do you want to do there? You want to start out early and often right here? You want to go with number 30 like we did yesterday on the text line? You feeling it?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
All right. Text line giveaway, 317-239-1070 if you want to be a part of the BullseyeEventGroup.com Post VIP Tailgate. Doors open at 10 a.m. coming up on Sunday morning. All you can eat, all you can drink. Got to say hello to Skids. I believe Laura Steele is the MC and just celebrated a birthday. Please say hello to our friend Laura Steele as well. And Kyle Cadet is the architect of something incredibly special. Number 30 on our text line, 239-317-239-1070 will go and will go on us. Shout out to Kyle Cadet with BullseyeEventGroup.com and the Colts VIP tailgate. Bob Lovell, another night of high school football later on tonight. I'm sure we'll work in Cathedral without question. And you've got the high school football pairings coming up on Sunday, too. Bob Lovell's going to join us on the other side. Joel A. Erickson in the Star after 4. Mike Wells after 4. Charles Arbuckle in the 5. Chris Hagan joins us here live, as you better as well, because the Ice Cold Bud Light's ready. 5 pair Cardinals Colts tickets to give away with our friends from Zinc on a Bud Light Blue Friday. Sam Silver Circle, Fletcher and Shelby. We're near downtown Indianapolis, and this is a great Friday. This is a way to get a weekend started right here. Sam Silver Circle. The stream, the app, HD Radio, the AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Oh, James, did you really do this? I know it's a one-hit wonder weekend on B105.7. We'll do a lot of those tomorrow night on the JMV Takeover. However, I don't know if Grant Lee Buffalo is a one-hit wonder. And, of course, I just handed that to you, James.
Yeah,
now that I think about it, I don't think it's a one-hit wonder. I will say this, though, James. I absolutely love this song. Crank this up just a second, would you? Good God. Does anybody remember this song from the 1990s, Grant Lee Buffalo, Am I Alone? I'm going to tell you what, this seems like, Sam Silver Circle seems like a place that might be rocking Grant Lee Buffalo a little bit later on just because of that right here. So I don't think that's a one-hit wonder, but it's close enough. Close enough in the alternative format from the 1990s. Sam Silver Circle, Bud Light Blue Friday, 5 pair of Cardinals Colts tickets we shall give away. We are so glad you're here. Now, I'm going to start this appropriately enough. Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk, that's tonight, tomorrow night, on stations across the state of India. Great stations like WITZ, AM and FM, Jasper, Huntingburg, which I listened to on Tuesday when I was down in Jasper. You can listen to it there statewide with all your favorite stations. Bob Lovell joins us. Now, appropriately enough, I'm at a Cathedral bar, right? That's where I am, Sam Silver Circle. Oh, did I get a boo? That's the first time I've ever heard that. Now, I'm at a Cathedral bar. They're on the road at Covington, Kentucky, so I don't know how much Cathedral will rep in this place. But, man, coming off a fantastic win on the road at Center Grove and Cathedral at 5-2, Bob back on the road in Covington, Kentucky, coming up later on this evening.
Well, I think it shows you the quality of the team. They played a great team, obviously, on the road, and with a big win. They play a tremendous schedule, evidenced by the fact that they're in Kentucky tonight. And so, Coach Peebles is as good as it gets. Coach Moore is as good as it gets. So that matchup was a tremendous one tonight. But Cathedral is clearly one of those top 4 or 5 teams in 5A that has a legitimate chance to win a championship.
To Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk with us. 6A, Brownsburg 7-0 at Noblesville. The Millers 1-6 this season so far. Meantime, your 2 other 7-0s, Crown Point at 5A Chesterton and 7-0 Penn. They're ranked 4th at 4A New Prairie. My question is, do you think Crown Point, I guess we will have to see it at some point, one of the 2 from up north if they end up making it. But do you think Crown Point and Penn, for example, would you put them in a similar category as Brownsburg or Carmel or Center Grove or Lawrence North?
I'd put them not far away. I think depending on where the game is played, field conditions, those kinds of things. Penn has they started slowly. They've really played well lately. Crown Point has been the class of the northern part of the state in 6A the entire year. Craig Bazia is one of the best coaches the state's ever seen. They're putting things together. They're a tough-minded group of guys, play you hard defensively, grind it out on you offensively. So, these are 2 really good teams, John. I'm not so sure, in terms of who can play Brownsburg right now. They won it a year ago, as we know, and undefeated now. So I think, in my mind, they're kind of the favorites. But it's clearly, a Crown Point team that's really good. And Penn is Penn. They just brand new. They have a new coach, and they're playing great football. And so, as I mentioned, slow start, but they're being Penn right now.
Hey, Bob, Center Grove and LN, that's 5-6 in 6A, and both teams are 6-1. That's at CG. Coming up later on tonight. I was there. I was picking up my daughter last Friday, and you could tell there was a great deal, I can't imagine, in the locker room with Eric Moore, but there was a great deal of disappointment in losing that game in the fashion which they did with Cathedral. What do you think about this 6-1 matchup to see if CG can bounce back at home later on tonight?
Well, clearly, I think they're going to be motivated. I don't think there's any question about that. I think Lawrence North has been a tremendous story, John. We talked about them earlier, and they've some talented guys, and they just continue to play and play well. This, in my mind, this is the best game in the state tonight. This is a tremendous matchup of 2 teams that, they happen to be one of the most difficult classes out there. But I think it's a great matchup, and I hope the weather holds off and everybody's able to watch a tremendous football game.
Fishers in Westfield, Bob, also in 6A. That's a hell of a matchup later on tonight, too.
Westfield just continues to play solid football. I mean, change of coaches. Josh Miracle is doing a fantastic job in his first year. They haven't missed a beat, quite frankly. I mean, Fishers, Hamilton County, HSE, and Fishers, man, oh, man, they're incredibly talented. They're loaded. I think this is your basic toss-up. This is a great, great game that wouldn't surprise me if it comes down to the end.
So Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk, he's got you tonight. He's got you tomorrow night. I've got people on the text line at 317-239-1070 wanting me to have you talk up Kyle Ralph and the 7-0 New Pal squad that he has against Newcastle coming up later on tonight. I will say this. I haven't seen Bloomington South, but you just kind of wonder where New Pal is compared to others. Now, I know Cathedral looked tough. We mentioned that.
Right.
But you got South and you got Cathedral, Lafayette Jeff. East Central is always kind of right there. Your Quakers of Plainfield. You kind of wonder if maybe New Pal may not be at least an arm's length ahead of some of these other teams in their class right now.
I would agree with that. And I think it's a great description. You talk about Kyle Ralph. I'm not sure there are enough superlatives to offer for what he's done since he arrived. They've done nothing but dominate whatever class they're in at that particular time. Multiple state championships, one a year ago. Listen, they are really, really solid. They are a well put together program. He is a tremendous leader, tremendous coach. And so I think that's what makes them so good. Bloomington South is playing well. I mean, the city of Bloomington is playing well, quite frankly. So, you talk about New Pal, Bloomington South, Cathedral. There's some really, really solid teams in 5A.
So Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk. Chittard's number 1 in 4A, Bob, at 6-1, and they get 6-1 Tri-West. That's a hell of a matchup later on tonight, buddy.
Yeah, it is. This Tri-West team's been real, I suppose, quiet in some respects, but they've just gone along, as you point out, only lost one ball game. We all know about Chittard, and they've reloaded. But at Tri-West, that is a tremendous matchup. It kind of reminds you of a semi-state matchup later on in the tournament. And both teams are playing obviously very, very well. 4A, they have to be. Heritage Hills is one, another one in there. You talk about balance in classes, John. 6A, 5A, 4A. 4A is the same way. It was Chittard. East Noble's a team that people haven't talked about. They haven't lost yet. Heritage Hills has lost one. Mishawaka is getting better. Pendleton Heights playing much better. So. That's a great matchup. Chittard, Tri-West. I'd love to watch that one. I'd love to see that tonight.
No, I completely agree with you on that, too. That is a tremendous game. Chittard on the road at Tri-West. This is where we get into some of the Southern Indiana schools that are really good, too. Class 3A, number 1 at 7-0, Evansville Memorial. Gibson Southern at 6-1. We know about the Cascade team here in Central Indiana that's 7-0 as well. And a phenomenal player and just some eye-popping numbers going down at Knox for that 7-0 team, ranked 4th right now in 3A, Bob.
Well, no, you're right. And they, Knox is coached by Hall of Fame coach Russ Radke. Their running back is just as good as it gets. He's a phenomenally talented guy. He's averaging something like 400, almost 500 yards a game, and so it's crazy in what they're doing. But again, it's one of those teams that's built to win in October and November because they can punish you with the ball in their hand. You mentioned Memorial. Memorial is really, they won it a year ago. They're undefeated right now. Gibson Southern likes to throw it with Nick Hart and his guys. Cascade's really, really good. Mississinawa's another one you have to think about. They're undefeated and have played really good football this year. So 3A, kind of like what we talked about. The others is pretty balanced class.
Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk. You got that. Then you have one hellaciously awesome college football game, hopefully, tomorrow in Eugene, Oregon, to keep track of, don't you? You're going to be on top of all of that this weekend.
I hope so, John. I really do. But it's one of those great, you got a lot to talk about. You got the Pacers who are, playing. You got college football, Colts and the Cardinals. Week 8 of high school football. Tournament starts soon, obviously. So it's a great weekend. We hope everybody will go to a game, buy your ticket to support the schools. Get in your car afterwards, turn on your radio, hit scan, and you'll find us.
It's that easy, is it not?
It's that easy. It is that
buddy.
easy.
I love having you on. You know that to be true. Have a great weekend. We'll do it again next week.
All right, John. Thanks very much.
Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk tonight. Tomorrow night, he's got you covered. I can't wait for IU and Oregon coming up on Saturday afternoon. That'd be great. I just want to see IU hang around and make the home team, and you know that place is going to be rotten with non-believers. Make them and then everybody else believers in this thing. That's what you want. Live at Sam Silver Circle, we're with Bud Light on a Blue Friday. Thank you very much for joining us. I did want to get to this. Kathy Wolf sent me an email at JMV at 1075thefan.com. James, how about this? I just finished a 525-mile hike across northern Spain. Can you imagine how chafed I would be if I did that? I had no Wi-Fi. 525-mile hike.
Wow.
Across northern Spain. I would be chafed for the next 10 years.
I don't think I'd be able to walk for the next 10 years.
I had no Wi-Fi while hiking, but with a 6-hour time difference, I would settle in each evening while listening to your show. I am a regular listener, so staying tuned kept me up to date with local sports and a nice reminder of home. Let's give a lot of love. Kathy, if you were here right now, you would so be drinking out of this bucket of ice-cold Bud Light that we have here from Zinc Distributing, and we would just go ahead. We'd give you tickets to go to the Colts game if you were here right now. Now, I don't know where Kathy is right now, but that is absolutely outstanding. 525 miles on a hike across northern Spain. I would like to ask Kathy James, what would possess somebody to want to do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think there is any amount of money you could pay me to try and do something like that.
You know how badass Kathy Wolf is, James? I mean, that's ultimate badassery right there, is it not?
Oh, it is. I mean, she's certainly more badass than you or I.
That's awesome. Kathy Wolf, shout out to you and thank you for being a P1 listener through your 525-mile hike in northern Spain. I did have this reminder from Adam in Whitestown. Do not forget about the Lebanon Tigers sitting at 6-1 this season with our Bob Lovell conversation. Hey, Joel Erickson coming up at the top of the hour. First and Joel on Fox 59. And Chris Hagan's going to join us coming up in just a little bit as well. Mike Wells from ESPN Radio. Charles Arbuckle, the former Colts tight end. We've got you covered collegiately and with the Cardinals and the Colts coming up on Sunday with Charles on the 5 o'clock hour. More bullseye passes to give away and your chance to win 5 pair we have to give away of Cardinals Colts tickets, courtesy of Bud Light on a Blue Friday, the legendary Sam's Silver Circle. We would love to see you here. If you're getting off work, make this your destination location because we would love to see you right here. Again, we're at Fletcher and Shelby, Sam's Silver Circle, the stream of the app HD Radio, the AAA. Become a AAA member today, especially since everybody's going on fall break right now. AAA.com to become a member today. It's 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber. You go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Sam Silver Circle is the legendary location of our Bud Light Blue Friday in front of Week 6 with the Cardinals of the Colts. Did I tell you? Five pair of tickets to give away, including the football toss out there. And Ice Cold Bud Light is ready to go and the best pizza in town. I should also mention this. Win Schuler Spreadability. You can find it in your favorite Meijer location. There's Chris Hagan peeking through the window like some weirdo right here on Fox 59. He's going to join us coming up in a minute, provided he can squeeze through the door right here. We will see him. Win Schuler Spreadability. Original sharp cheddar, bacon and cheddar, and jalapeno pepper. The spreadability of Win Schuler's. Locked out, brother. Meijer location, Gordon Food Service. I'm telling you, if you find it at other places too, or really wherever you find Win Schuler's, let us know, because it is the spreadability of 2025 in the football season. Win Schuler's Spreadability. I know right now you can find it at your favorite Meijer location. That is Win Schuler's. Man, the Eagles are an absolute mess right now. It's funny how week to week the NFL is. You can look like you are absolute world beaters one week, and they didn't last week, don't get me wrong, but they were an absolute mess last night against the Giants. And for a second consecutive week, I took a beating on Thursday night with my Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots. Second consecutive Thursday night, I have failed and failed miserably. But, man, the Eagles were a mess. Messy, to say the least. Chris Hagan of Fox 59 is sitting down here. First and Joel with Joel A. Erickson of the Star. He's going to join us at the top of the hour. How you doing, Chris?
I tell you what, I heard you talk about your locks. There's no such thing as a lock, as we've learned.
Not.
I mean, for Philly fans, God love you. You got beaten down by the woeful Giants, and then you had one of the all-time gaffes by a pitcher last night for your Phillies to get sent home. But yeah, plenty to talk about. I got a PSA for the folks a little bit later too.
Do you ever
on a serious note?
Do you ever shake loose of that crook inning play if you're him?
Oh no, that's Bill Buckner territory. It's just, did he forget how many outs there were? He just got scared. He bobbled, and he's trying to win the game. He's not trying to make an all-time gaff. But my goodness, and there's no guarantee.
Realmuto, the catcher, was pointing to first.
Yeah. There's no guarantee they win that game. It still was tied. But, man alive, that'll go down in infamy.
As soon as he bobbled it, he absolutely crapped his
God,
pants.
he freaked. And the guy, I don't know, was it Paez, whoever it was running the first, was kind of just like jogging. I'm out.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
Yeah, and then they celebrated him at the end of the game. I'm like, Jackass didn't do anything. Let's go over and talk to him. He got his interpreter there.
I hit the ball back to the pitcher like I'm in T-ball.
And he completely crapped his pants and threw it home. Even a good throw wasn't going to get it. I mean,
because the guy's already breaking. The guy's breaking on contact with 2 outs. Your only hope, you bobble, you look up, you got a pitcher's arm, you throw it to first, you live to play to the 12th inning, but that's not what happened.
I will tell you this. The other thing you're going to think about, too, their bats with Philadelphia. And listen, the Dodger pitching is pretty damn good. But Bryce Harper, did he do anything?
Yeah.
He's like an automatic out most of the time.
It's funny how you play. The baseball regular season is so long.
Yes.
And that postseason can be such a small sample size. And then, you have a 3-game series, 5-game, and 7, and so on. Just like the Cubs here. I mean, and with the Tigers. The Tigers look dead in the water. Their bats came alive, and so now we've got 2 more Game 5s to go. Could you imagine if we had Tigers-Cubs both if they made the World Series tie? A lot of
how boring that would be.
Huge amount of Cubs fans around here. Certain amount of Tigers fans. But, yeah, I think it'd be a lot better than seeing Toronto and L.A. in the
listen, I want to see the Blue Jays. Hagan will come back with that. First and Joel on the other side, too. It's on Fox 59. And Joel A. Erickson of the Star will talk about the return of Alec Pierce, Grover Stewart situation. That and Kenny Moore II coming up here. Sam Silver Circle, it's legendary. And it's legendary on this Friday because we have 5 pair of Cardinals Colts tickets to give away, courtesy of Bud Light. Our friends from Zinc are down there right now rocking it. Hagan, JMV, Phelan Watson, the on-site engineer, James back of the studio. You guys are awesome on this Friday. Joel on the other side. Don't go anywhere. It's 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Ride with JMV.
Ahoy, Ploy.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Sam's Silver Circle on a Friday, a Bud Light Blue Friday with 5 pair of Cardinals Colts tickets to give away. Hagan, this is a one-hit wonder. Explain to the folks out there why you go with this hit, this classic from the 1980s.
I think all the greatest one-hit wonders were in the 80s, and this was one of them.
This is awesome, though. Tell everybody who it is.
This is, wouldn't it, Nick Kershaw.
Yeah.
With I've got it bad. You don't know how bad I've got it. You've got it easy.
That's good, man.
That is.
Human Racing, the 84 album, that is Nick Kershaw, a one-hit wonder from the 1980s. Wouldn't it be good?
And it's got a couple of different ways that song goes. It starts off kind of low, then it gets kind of upbeat and
That's good.
poppy. It's got everything you need to have from a 1980s one-hit wonder.
We got Joel A. Erickson coming up in just a second. Ryan is here from Connorsville, Indiana. Ryan, let me get that next to your grill right there.
All right.
All right, Connorsville, Indiana. Ryan, why are you here today?
Actually, just on my way home, commuting back and forth right now, looking to move back home from Connorsville.
You don't love Fayette County? What's happening there?
Well, I moved away after I graduated from Wabash College. And kind of ended up on the west side, but now I'm headed back home to southeastern Indiana.
Nice. Shout out to Connorsville, Indiana. And you're a big-time listener, I will mention, with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Do you know my good friend Brian Neer?
I've heard the name,
Brian,
but I've not met him yet.
Brian Neer. This is why I love Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. He keeps track of all of my affairs.
Yeah.
I can't do anything without Brian Neer knowing about it, which is good. Because I can't keep track of my own stuff. Nothing. But no, you guys do a great job for me, man.
Well,
so you've been listening for a while?
Absolutely. Probably ever since you've been on the air.
Oh, man. How about Hagan? You watch Hagan on Fox 59?
Absolutely.
He's like, I have no idea who that is.
Well, I did call you by your first name. Hopefully that was okay.
Yeah. I don't usually answer to Chris, but yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, Ryan, great to meet you, man. Keep listening. Ryan, by the way, one more time. From Connorsville, Indiana.
Ryan Ling, Connorsville, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
There you go, buddy.
Yep.
Thank you for listening all these years and stopping by.
Absolutely.
Have a Bud Light with us right here.
Go Colts.
Ice cold Bud Light. Ryan Ling is here with us from Connorsville, Indiana. A part of the show. He's a big-time listener. Meantime, you can sit tight right here with us, too, on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. First and Joel on Fox 59. Writer for the Indianapolis Star. And sweating his you-know-what's off going into a decisive Game 5 coming up tomorrow night with his homestanding Brewers and the NLDS against the Cubs. Joel A. Erickson joins us now. Are you sweating this out a little bit, brother?
I have 12 hours of depression scheduled for tomorrow between Missouri playing Alabama and the Brewers losing to the Cubs in Game 5.
Hey, Joel, I listen to a lot of gambling podcasts, and all the sharps are saying that Missouri is the play tomorrow. You've got a good running attack. Bama's not that great against the run. It's kind of another sandwich game for Bama. They had a lot of emotion last week. Looking forward to Tennessee. I think you've got them right where you want them.
The history of Missouri football would suggest that any time we go up against those blue bloody type schools that we end up in a bad space. So I hope the gambling sharks are right, but I went to Missouri. I'm not from there, but I went to Missouri. You have to show me.
Well, what's funny is they said that Missouri has yet to play a road game. Is that true?
Yeah.
They've played every set. I mean, what are we, week 7? They haven't played a road game, so that's concerning.
I can't remember what it is, but it's like the furthest a team gets to its schedule maybe ever since some really long time ago. They don't go on the road until they play Auburn in the Erickson household marital rivalry game next week.
That's unbelievable. Well, if it makes you feel any better, some degenerates out in Las Vegas think Missouri's going to win. And as far as the Brewers go, I mean, you got to figure the Cubs are going to cub, and the Brewers at home. I just like the Brewers in this. They've been the better team all season long, and I actually like both teams. I wouldn't mind seeing either one in the World Series, but I like the Brewers in this one.
I would love to agree with you, but I just can't find a reason. I can't find a reason from the vibes of going back home after losing 2 that you should have clinched on, to the numbers saying that historically, if you let a team back into it like this, usually that team closes you out. I can't find a path, Hagan.
So
I can't find one.
I was already worried about seeing Dave Griffiths and Alexa Ross tomorrow after the Phillies and Eagles both lost. And so now tomorrow I might be having to troubleshoot your emotional issues if Missouri and the Brewers both lose. So this is going to be a real fun Sunday.
First and Joel may be the fakest smile I've ever had. You might have to do some Chris Hagan singing to make up for some of those minutes.
I can do it. I'll come through.
Joel A. Erickson, First and Joel on Fox 59, and from the Indianapolis Star, the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Before we get started on the Colts and some interesting dynamics going into week number 6 of their matchup with the Cardinals coming up on Sunday, I look at it this way. I kind of wonder, Craig Counsell, the skipper of the Cubs, would this be an all-timer in terms of Wisconsin sports? If they were to lose 3 in a row and get bounced out in the fashion that is a possibility coming up tomorrow night in decisive Game 5?
Yeah. I thought last season couldn't be topped with the Alonso homer, shortly followed by there wasn't the news that something was going on there wasn't like hard news that something was going on with Bob Uecker, but it was very evident from the way the players were reacting that something was going on with Uecker. But this one would be worse. Yeah, I think every Brewers playoff loss sort of feels existential. This one would feel the same way. I like I said, I think that's where it's headed. When Happ hit the homer yesterday, I thought, you know what, that might be it. That's the end of that series.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel that, but you knew that was the end of the game. I hated it because the Brewers just went away. I mean, they just absolutely faded away. And the Cubs kind of piled it on. That's the part that I hated the most. I want to start here with the Colts. Is there anything to put to the fact that you're talking about 2 coaches coming up on Sunday with 2 teams going in opposite directions right now, clearly, but 2 coaches that know one another maybe as well as any 2 coaches in the NFL right now? Is there anything advantage-wise for either one going into Sunday in your estimation, Joe?
I don't think so. I think Arizona's defense has evolved from where Jonathan Gannon had it in Philadelphia. They're doing some really intriguing stuff with the way they disguise their coverages, and it's not stuff that they were necessarily doing back then. I would say, I know the Cardinals here have lost 3 straight, but I get the sense that the Colts look at this as a very difficult game. And at the Cardinals as a defense in particular, that is probably better than people realize.
Hagan, you going?
Oh, it's your turn. I was looking. I was looking at something online.
No, I'm sorry.
I don't listen to you usually.
All right, well, I got another one loaded up if you're ready. I got another one. I just thought, okay. Hey, Joe, Alec Pierce, we thought last week at this time that maybe he had the opportunity. Well, actually, before this, we knew by this time he wasn't. But to me, for a guy that has been so good, but people still complain about him not having deep ball capabilities, Alec Pierce is so important because he gives Daniel Jones that deep ball capability in the form of a jump ball. So the importance of having him out there and his return coming up on Sunday.
I think he's a big deal, and I think it's more than just being able to go up and get the deep ball. If you go back and look at the 2 games before he got the Denver game and then the Tennessee game, he made a handful of catches there in that intermediate crosser type range that for big first downs or sort of plays that aren't necessarily an explosive play, but they're 15, 19-yard chunks, which are obviously hugely helpful as you move down the field. I think Alec Pierce is definitely a big deal. And then with the jump ball, Daniel Jones, unless he throws the ball very early, is not going to get a deep ball out in front of a receiver to have him run under it most of the time. It's going to be a jump ball. A.D. Mitchell is not a player who's great at that. We saw Ashton Dulin make one of those plays last week. But Alec Pierce obviously is fantastic at it. And I thought, really probably should have had 3 of those catches already this season instead of just 2.
Joel, as nice as the 4-1 start is, I mean, Jacksonville's right there. They're not going anywhere. Still 2 matchups for them. We talked about earlier how an Eagles team can lose to the Giants. So, and I think the Colts have done a good job about talking the talk and walking the walk about, hey, this start is great, but it means nothing. You can't go out there and take anybody for granted, even though you're seeing a team that's banged up and lost 3 straight. In the NFL, you have to go out there and do what you do, or you could easily take an L, and next thing you know, you're not in first place anymore.
Yeah, and like I said, I think the Colts think this Cardinals team should have a better record than it does. I mentioned what they're doing on defense. The Colts have been so good on offense because Jones and Steichen have been very good at figuring out what coverages people are running, and then that's what Jones has to do at the line of scrimmage, and then Steichen has given him, the right plays to attack whatever he sees. The Cardinals do this stuff in the secondary where they kind of line up, looks like almost aimlessly, and then they don't really declare their coverage until the snap starts, and I think that makes it a little bit more difficult on the quarterback. Jones said earlier this week, it's a little bit unconventional, it's a little bit difficult with the stuff like that in terms of reading the defense. That's what they've done a good job of so far. So I think it's an interesting mental test for this offense.
Quote, we're working through that right now from Shane Steichen. That has been a constant regarding A.D. Mitchell. He was clearly on punishment last week against the Raiders. Will that remain somewhat similar this week at home against the Cardinals?
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially the same thing Shane Steichen said last week. He didn't give a full-throated, he's paid his dues and gotten back in there. So what we're working through that is what he said last week, and then we saw how much he played, and now with Pierce back, obviously that changes the roster picture number a little bit. So yeah, I think it's possible that we might not see A.D. Mitchell in his old role in the offense this weekend. Just based on, like I said, it's the same thing Shane Steichen said last week when he really only played once they threw in everybody just to keep people healthy.
Hey, Joel, Kenny Moore II's been ruled out. We know that to be true, but then they made adjustments contractually for him. Is there anything deeper to get into with that conversation in mind? I talked to Mike Chappell about that yesterday, and he didn't really think so, but what say you?
They got down to like $4-ish million or something like that in cap space before that deal. They've done this before where they'll restructure something in the middle of a season to kind of give themselves more operating money. If you think about it, this is a team that's already had to sign a handful of veteran types after the season has started, and when there's still a ways to go. And the way the cap works is if you're signing undrafted free agents and stuff like that, those guys don't really affect your cap that much because they're coming in at the minimum. If you sign veterans, if you sign a guy like Jermaine Pratt, you're obviously taking out a little bit bigger chunk of the cap. So I think that's the most likely thing for why they redid Moore's contract. From an Achilles standpoint, we did see him working out on the field today. Not the field that the rest of the Colts were practicing on. He was on the other field with a trainer. He was doing some movement stuff at the beginning of practice. So at the very least, they think it's okay for him to start moving. We'll see next week if he is able to play before those 4 weeks that he would have been a minimum of on IR expire, or if it lingers a little bit.
Hey, Joel, as you know, I do little to no research whenever I'm talking about stuff, but I was thinking about Daniel Jones. If you did it right now, a third of the way of the season, you'd say, is he comeback player of the year? And then I started thinking, not to get too far ahead of myself, can you think of anybody, or you, John, has anybody ever been comeback player of the year and MVP in the same season?
Oh,
because that would be unbelievable. And if
sounds like a Cam Newton category or something to me.
I do know this though, he cannot be comeback player of the year for just not playing well the year before. They changed that rule.
Oh, he has to be hurt now?
Yes, they changed the rule after Flacco won. Because people were up in arms about DeMar Hamlin not getting it. And so now it has to be an injury thing. I've seen several people say Daniel Jones comeback player of the year. And I don't particularly like that. I think you should be able to come back from whatever. But those are, I believe there was a rule change where it has to be coming back off of injury.
So there's comeback player of the year and comeback from the dead player of the year is what they have now. and not to make light of that situation. But it is very different because for years it was like a guy that was down and out. And, I mean, you get cut from your original team that drafted you in the first round, and then you're just like you're basically a ball boy for the Vikings up there. It's strange that he can't be in consideration. Now it makes you wonder who's even in consideration for that. I mean, would it be Dak? Didn't Dak get hurt last year?
Yeah, Dak got hurt last year. Yeah,
Dak gets hurt every year?
I don't particularly like the change in the rule because I think Drew Brees won his comeback player of the year, not for the year after he wrecked his shoulder, but for a year that he just wasn't very good with the Chargers and then turned out to be very good the next year. I prefer having that be a part of it. If you go back and look at the Flacco year, really, not sure Flacco or Hamlin, either of them should have won. I think it probably should have been Baker Mayfield because he was a guy that he was kind of in the Jones spot where the NFL had left him for dead, and then he obviously has turned into what looks like a franchise quarterback for the Bucs. So I don't love that rule change, but I do know that they made that a couple years ago.
Joel, did Daniel Jones not get injured? Did he not miss a week last year for the Giants? Other than
could that be an asterisk? Like, yeah, he was hurt one game. So
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if they changed the voting criteria. As you guys may know, the Associated Press does not like to give out voting memberships to people who are in the Indianapolis market, so that makes it a little harder for us to know some of this stuff.
Yeah. Nerds.
I got a good insight here from Eddie White, who says, believe it or not, the closest to winning both, and this makes sense, was Peyton Manning.
Yeah, it does.
That does make sense because he had that
Broncos
great first year with the Broncos.
Shout out to Eddie White.
Eddie's on top of it as usual.
That does make a lot of sense. Yeah, that's weird. Hey, if you were voting for MVP, would it be Daniel Jones or Jonathan Taylor?
Oh, it's a good. I mean, right now I would go Daniel Jones because Taylor has been brilliant. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of these games, Taylor's been the finisher and Jones has been the one who's they put the ball in the hands of early in games. I think just about every game so far has started with a fairly pedestrian first half from Taylor, and then he turns, they wear them down, and he starts finding room to run in the second half. So I think in terms of just, who's driving the bus the most so far, it's probably Jones. And then, again, that's a tough one because Taylor's been brilliant. But just in terms of most valuable, I think that's where I would go.
Well, Joel, before we say goodbye, I'll see you on Sunday morning. But tomorrow, I'm throwing this out there to you and all my degenerate friends. I'm going to go with the Joel A. Parlay. I'm going Mizzou and the Brew. It all rhymes. It has to be a winner.
I guess I'm looking at it the wrong way. Tomorrow could be 12 hours of depression or it could be 12 hours of elation. It's impossible to know.
But, with us, as we've talked about this before, our sports teams, we've never gone into games in any sport expecting to win. We're always happy when we do.
Never. Yeah. We just, between you and I, we have chosen teams that don't necessarily allow us to feel great about things.
Yeah. We can't be cocky. You can never knock us off our perch because we're never on it to begin with.
Hoping that Brewers fans. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Joe. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
The Brewers are something like 3-10 or something in their history in clinchers. So, people are like, you're putting on a front here. No, I have reason to not believe that this is going to work out.
Yeah, there is. And going back to 1982, when the Cardinals won the World Series, when the Brewers were in the American League back in the day, Joel has Not memories of that, but I'm sure distant memories, as folks that are Brewers fans have told him about that in the past. And yeah, there's been a lot of heartache with the Brewers. There's no doubt about that. Joe has got First and Joel coming up on Sunday with Chris Hagan at Fox 59. Find his work in the Indianapolis Star. Joel, it's always a pleasure, brother. Thank you.
You bet. We'll see if between us we can get Hagan singing on a show on Sunday.
Oh, I can't wait
always.
that. Why don't you do that? Sing on the show, buddy.
I sang on the show, and Chelsea Helms made fun of me. I thought it was pretty good, though.
Chelsea Helms.
Apparently, this is one of her spots, but she's at work today. So
is she going to call in again today?
I think she's working, so I don't know.
Very excited.
She said to get her some pizza. This is her favorite pizza in town, she said.
Joel, appreciate it, man. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the game tomorrow and Sunday.
I think Joel hung up like 5 minutes ago.
I think he probably did.
Hey, Joel, good to talk to you.
Quick break. I think we got the Colts Daily Update coming up next. Mike Wells from ESPN Radio, bottom of the hour. Charles Arbuckle is going to join us after 5. We've got Oregon IU conversation on the inbound coming up, too. We've got one more ALDS decisive game 5 coming up later on tonight, too. That's in the Pacific Northwest. We're at Sam Silver Circle. Bud Light Blue Friday. We've got tickets to give away. 5 pair of Cardinals Colts tickets. They don't go anywhere. We're coming back, hopefully making you a winner. More bullseye passes. Sit tight. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
He's my best friend. He's my pal. He's my homeboy, my rotten soldier. He's my sweet cheese, my good time boy.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Crank this up for Mike Wells from ESPN Radio, the Slow Jam re-entry. Bud Light Blue Friday. All request JMV takeover style. Hey, Mike, that is some weird sound. Are you on your head? Are you on your earbuds or something?
I'm in my AirPods like I always am.
Yeah, man. We don't catch you at all right now.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna take my AirPods off. Hold on.
That is better right there.
And y'all thought my singing was bad.
Yeah.
Hey,
that
is that
sounds.
better?
That's like it's like you were singing trapped inside a garden hose right there. That didn't sound good at all.
Oh,
now you
man.
sound much better.
So my Tender Love did not sound great that time.
Man, and I put that on a silver platter with the Foursome D's and Tender Love, a one-hit wonder from 1985. And what incredible soundtrack of the 1980s, Mike Wells.
Crush, grooving, body moving.
God. What? Hey, what's your favorite song off that album?
Oh, man. See, now we're going back 40 years. Oh,
yeah.
You put me on the spot on that one, man.
Oh, come on, buddy.
Man, hey, wasn't Curtis Blow on that soundtrack?
If I Rule the World.
Oh.
God, that's a great song.
Man, hey.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, you want to know what's crazy? One of my favorite parts of that movie was when the Fat Boys went to Sabaro's Pizza and they ate everything in sight in that movie.
They did.
Remember that part?
I did. And then that guy had a heart attack like 5 minutes later, I think, didn't he?
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, 2 of the 3 Fat Boys have passed away, haven't they?
I believe we only have one Fat Boy, unfortunately, remaining. Hey, by the way, the Beastie Boys, She's On It, a classic song from Crush Groove. And how about this one? The Gap Band, Love Triangle from that one.
Hey, Gap Bands. My parents used to love playing some Gap Bands.
Good.
When they were cleaning the house.
I believe there's
plastic on the couch.
I think there's only one of those left too. I think
dropped a bomb
Charlie
on
Wilson.
me,
Charlie
baby.
Wilson's the only of the 3 members of the Gap Band remaining
too. Bomb on me.
Oh shoot! Hey, we got our favorite 1'5" Ginger in the house.
He's in the house.
Thank
Mike
you.
Wells of
Finally.
ESPN Radio.
It's not an official show until Wells makes fun of my height.
Hey, by the way, you keep shrinking too, bro. I mean, I've gone from 5'5" to 1'5" over the years, man.
Man,
I'm as tall as Tinkerbell now.
He just showed me a picture of 2015. My God, I was fat. That's ridiculous.
You were in the fat. You could have been in the Fat Boys.
He just said I look like Peter Griffin from Family Guy in that picture.
Hey, 2015 was the start of the end of things for Andy Luck and the Colts at quarterback too, man.
2015.
That was not a good year for people, evidently, man. And by the way, it was good seeing you and Hagan in the press box last weekend at the Colts game. Shout out to Matt Conti and the Colts for letting my IU students in to cover a game. We'll be back again in a few weeks. So I don't need to be there, but I love going to catch up with all of y'all.
Hey, Conti's a hell of a dude, man. You know what I mean? You know how easy Conti is? Thank you, Kev. You know how easy and I hate to say it, but other people are so damn hard to deal with and such a pain in the ass most of the time. Man, Conti, win, lose, or draw, criticism, whatever, is always there and always, get you guys on. They just kind of understand what's going on here. I have a great deal of admiration for that. I like everybody that does it in the communication game around here, but not all are created equal. I mean, there are some that need to do better work, and it's just sad.
I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. Now, had Hagan made that comment, I would have stirred the pot and got things going. But I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm not going to ask who the hell you're talking about with that comment, Hagan.
Listen, and I like him a great deal, but the Fever and the Pacers can be a pain in my ass. Seriously, and I don't know why. I mean, I am like Mr. Basketball around here. I mean, they should have these dudes nonstop and ladies nonstop. But, I mean, it was like pulling stinking teeth to get anybody on the Fever on, except those that cover it. And, you know, the Pacers kind of the same way. It's a ridiculous pain, and it shouldn't be that way. And they should take a page from the book of Matt Conti and the Colts and how they handle things to make sure that your local product is always out there and being talked up. I will never, ever understand that. Never. Especially for me with the Pacers that have talked them up and have, been right about them over the course of the past couple of years. I will never understand that.
Man, hey, Hagan, I was trying to get Conti a shout out. I didn't know I was going to go down that path, brother.
That took a turn.
No, I can name some names if you guys. Well, I don't care at this point because I mean, basically, Chad Buchanan comes on, and whenever I ask him, and that's nice enough. But hell, if I send that down the pipeline over there, I'm lucky to get a call back in like a month. It's absurd.
Hey, so how about those Colts, man? That was a great game. That was a great game last weekend. Got a chance to win another game this weekend against the Cardinals. Continuing to move in the right direction. Can we just go ahead and play Colts and Jaguars, man, for the AFC South title?
Hey, Wells, can you imagine if there's a world in where they're flexing a Colts-Jaguars game to prime time because it's going to mean so much in December?
Dang, they do that. I'm going to call you the 7'5" gender if they do that. But no, hey, I'm still a little hesitant. I'm more hesitant on the Jaguars still, but the way they tripped up and slid on in and got that victory over the Chiefs on Monday Night Football, I got to give a little credit where credit's due. And maybe Trevor Lawrence will finally live up to the expectations behind his name.
Was that not the goofiest ever game-winning touchdown you've ever seen in your whole life? Dude falls down not once but twice, then gets up, and then an all-world performer like Chris Jones is like, well, I'm just going to stand here and watch. And next thing you know, he's in the end zone, and the Jags are winning a huge game.
Yeah, that was. I mean, hey, first of all, the Chris Jones moment is kind of summed up how the Chiefs have been all season. They essentially have been sleepwalking, and in past you're like, all right, you don't have to worry about Kansas City. They'll flip the script because they got Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce out there. But for the first time in some years, you may be like, this might be the start of the decline on Andy Reid and those boys down in Kansas City. And you flip it around, you look at the landscape of the AFC as a whole. I know we're on, what are we, week 6, week 5 of the season, and you talking about the Jaguars, you talking about the Colts, obviously the Bills are still doing things. The Ravens are a gigantic poop mess right now too. So Cincinnati without Joe Burrow, they're not good. You can say, hey, the AFC might actually, it may be just Buffalo is the one team that people really have to worry about, and then after that, it might be wide open.
And right now, if the season stopped today, which I'm sure would make season ticket holders pissed off for only getting a few games in, but the Colts are sitting at the 1 seed. And when you look around, it's like the NBA, the Eastern Conference this year, so many star players are hurt. Teams might be down. This is when you got to make your hay. And to get out of the gate quick, which the Colts haven't done a lot in the last decade, to be where they are and see some of the landscape of the AFC, I mean, the time is now to get something done and break a lot of these long streaks that they've had as far as winning divisions and making the playoffs and advancing in the playoffs. So this is where, I mean, the ball has been placed on the tee, has it not?
Oh, 100%, Hagan. Can you guys imagine if this was the traditional Colts season where they got off to a slow start and the rest of the AFC has not been good? The moaning, groaning from the fan base about, oh, we can't even take advantage of this soft schedule. Everybody else is down, but now they're like you said, Hagan. If the season were to end today, people would be mad, but the road to the Super Bowl would be going through Lucas Oil Stadium. So it is a great time right now. If you're an NFL football fan in the state of Indiana, if you're a Colts fan, especially with the fever season just ending, obviously, the Patriots are going to be tipping off in a couple weeks without Tyrese Halliburton. You're talking about the Colts and what's going on tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 in Oregon, in Eugene, Oregon, with IU playing IU. So football is great in the state of Indiana these days.
No, it is too. I can't wait until tomorrow with IU in Oregon too, just to see, where they are, and the rest of the football world. Basically, Mike riding them off before they even get out to Eugene. That's going to be some fun. What you got going on this weekend, buddy?
Oh man, listen, just hanging out with the family, doing that a little bit. Hey, your girl Layla Wells is out there about to enjoy her 2 weeks of a fall break. Listen, my man Tay went down.
You guys get 2 weeks. 2 weeks at Brownsburg.
Yeah, they get 2 weeks in Brownsburg.
Does CG get 2 weeks? That's ridiculous. We needed 2 days during in-service days. Why do you need 2 weeks in the fall? That's asinine.
Hey, listen, when my kids were younger, I couldn't stand it, but now they're self-sufficient, so I can give a rat's patootie about it. But the second week is the start. The second week is the start of a high school basketball season and everything. So it's really only 1 week for Layla. To IU women's soccer game last night, and he had no interest in going to school today. I'm like, bro, you're off for the next 2 weeks, and you want to touch and start fall break a day early, man. These kids.
I was always grounded this time of year because my report cards were so bad.
Hey, so when you were little, man, I know times have changed, but like when you were grounded, did your mom tell you to go in the backyard and grab a switch off the tree so she could beat your butt?
No, my grandma did. No, my mom just grounded my ass all the time. I got grounded all the time.
And Granny used to give it to you, huh?
Yeah, and then my mom now has revisionist history and thinks I'm such a, you know what, he never was a problem. I'm thinking, well, why the hell is my ass grounded all the time?
He still is a problem.
Man? So, yeah.
I got the belt. I'm talking about old school belt.
Yeah, I got belts, too.
You had a paddle with your name on it, Chris's paddle on it.
I did.
That was it. You know what's funny is back in my day in school, like the head coach could just break out the wooden paddle and go to town. And like if you went home and said, I got paddled, your parents would say, well, what'd you do? They wouldn't be calling the lawyer. They'd be asking what the hell you did.
I'd rather get suspended than paddled back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
True story right there. Hey, Mike, tell the lovely Layla I said hello. Best of the fam. We'll do it again next week.
All right. Hey, you guys be good. Sorry about my sounding like I was in a bottle of Tender Love, but we'll recap it next week. Y'all be good, fellas. Have a great weekend. Coach wins.
So, you got it.
All right, Wellesley, see you.
Mike Wells of ESPN Radio. Charles Arbuckle, top of the hour. The legendary Sam Silver Circle. If you guys would, can I mention this, Lisa? You're sitting next to me right now. Lisa is hanging with me right here, so you can check it out. AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. You got Lisa instead of Hagan. That's a good call.
It was a good
trade.
There.
Yeah, Lisa is in the house. No, seriously. We got 5 pair of Cardinals Colts tickets to give away on a Bud Light Blue Friday. Legendary Sam Silver Circle, Fletcher and Shelby. Please join us. We would love to see you at 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Whoever you are, this channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
Lady, do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza? 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Charles Arbuckle, top of the hour. Win Schuler spreadability anytime, anywhere. You're going to find it. You're going to find it at Meyer, Gordon Food Service. If you do see it, man, snap a picture and send it to me so I can please get everybody else to the spreadability. We're talking original sharp cheddar, bacon and cheddar, and jalapeno pepper. That is Win Schuler spreadability for you and your party, your gathering, your get-together, your reunion, or just snacking. Win Schuler spreadability for the fall season 2025 and the football season. Win Schuler spreadability, your favorite grocer's refrigerator. Back at Sam Silver Circle, Bud Light Blue Friday. 5 pair of Cardinals Colts tickets, Chris Hagan to give away. Per usual, this place is awesome.
Food is served and you're stone cold munching. That's what you sounded like when you were doing the spreadability there. Remember
Was
that?
it really? Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that? Who sang that song? What's that song? Next day's function, high-class luncheon. Food is served and you're stone cold munching.
I can't think of it.
A girl walks by. Young MC.
Young MC, yeah.
Just bust a move.
Bust a move. Were you a big Young MC fan when it came out?
Well, I know you've been talking about one-hit wonders. Speaking of which, did he have another hit? Young MC?
Yeah, Principal's Office.
Not familiar. You played Modern English with I'll Stop the World. They did the ultimate one-hit wonder move. You remember they had no other hits.
They didn't.
So about a decade later, they did a different version of their one hit.
No, sure.
You remember that?
Well, that's what, when I went to see Men Without Hats, they have 2 hits, but he played Safety Dance twice.
You have to.
Yeah, twice. He played the short version, and remember they had a long version and went SSSSAA.
The biggest baller move ever was when Tears for Fears were here, and I don't think you went. I think it was Trisha Whitaker went in your stead.
Yeah.
They came out, and this is the baller move.
You subbed me for Trisha Whitaker?
Yeah, I got the better end of the bargain.
Son of a gun.
They go out there. Tears for Fears comes out. Very first song, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. So they're like, you know what? If that's what you wanted to hear and that's all, get your ass out of here. We got a bunch of other songs. So I thought that was really cool that they just dropped it and said, here we go. That's out of the way. Now we can play our songs.
Man, oh, man.
That pizza smells damn good. Who just got a fresh one? Oh, my God, right behind me. That was very unkind. I'm over here just in the...
That's some rocking.
I'm in the firing line of that.
God. What's her name told you this is some great pizza, right?
Yeah, Chelsea Helms, CBS 4 anchor, said this is the best. Now, I'm going to take a piece if you're offering a piece, not just for the radio. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get a piece of that pizza.
I think you should.
Oh, my God. I'm going to have to leave the show, John.
Are you thrilled with that, are you, over there?
Hey, real quick.
She's making it back there right now, too.
My PSA, I have to get out there. You'll see my head here.
What happened?
You know, I walk 3 miles a day in the sun, and like I'm fair-skinned, and they said, hey, wear sunscreen, wear a hat. I haven't done it. They had to freeze off some precancerous situation up here on the head. So wear the sunscreen, wear the hat.
Wear the shirt in the pool 4th of July weekend.
I did wear the shirt. I've been told forever.
I know you did. It's okay.
So don't be a dumbass. The skin is the largest organ of the body is the skin, and take care of it because
you're lucky I have a shirt on here.
Yeah, okay.
Do you show me that picture from 2015? I'm never going to wear a shirt again.
You want me to tweet that out?
Seriously. Yeah, do it.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Seriously,
no.
Look how fat this dude was in 2015. Say, yeah. Say, no, seriously.
When I showed Doug, he
look
goes,
what Premier Weight Loss did for this fat ass.
Doug said, who is that? I go, it's John.
You believe how Hagen said it looked like Peter Griffin. I did look like Peter Griffin. And you know what? I went in there. I had the audacity to tell them, quote, I don't think I need to lose any weight.
Look at you now.
Can you imagine how nuts they thought? Yeah, you do. You're so fat. You better get on this scale
They were like,
now.
hey, Tubby, just go ahead and step in this room.
Hey,
here.
Tubby, maybe you do need to lose some weight right here. But no, that was
I was still your friend either way, John. That was
nice of you, too. But I feel much better now. But no, seriously, you're lucky. I mean, we did the pool party at Paradise Day Watson's, all of us, back in 4th of July weekend. You're lucky I wear a shirt ever. I may show at the Colts game, go in the press box shirtless. You're lucky. I just don't want to wear a shirt.
Maybe that's why the Pacers don't want to talk to you.
Yeah,
you showed up with no shirt on.
Hey, people get mad at me about making that particular opinion, but I see, I'm a big basketball guy, and especially this year, man, get that product out there and talk it up. I mean, I've talked it up. I think it's going to be much better than what people give it credit to be. And I've never really understood why Mike Preston decides not to put dudes on the show. He should have dudes on the show often. And I don't get that.
I'll tell you this. When I was covering the Pacers out there in Oklahoma City, they were great to me about making sure I got questions in, making sure I didn't get stepped on by the
dudes.
national media.
I'm not mad at them, but they need to get their guys on the show. Why not?
Maybe the players just don't like it.
And I say this all the time. I love the way that Rick Carlisle is on every Tuesday in the morning. I think that is a great thing. They need to do it more than just that.
Especially
as somebody that's incredibly knowledgeable about basketball like my ass right here. My hell.
I'm gonna bring you guys together. Just like you and Buddy Baker, I'm gonna bring you guys together.
I don't think we're together.
I'm gonna bring you and the Pacers together. I'm gonna be like Jimmy Carter.
Buddy Baker.
I'm gonna be like Jimmy Carter.
I don't think we're together. Am I Menachem Begin?
Yeah.
or Sadat.
You're Anwar Sadat, Menachem Begin. I'll be Jimmy Carter.
Sam Silver Circle, that's Hagan. I'm John. Thank you for joining us. Charles Arbuckle, the former Colts tight end, Colts Radio Network participant occasionally too. Also go inside with IU and Oregon coming up tomorrow with his college football analyst work too. It's coming up next. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
A ride with JMV.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Man, I love this place. Principal's office, I think, is another hit for a young MC back in the day, Hagan.
Because you're overzealous, play hard to get females, get jealous. Go to a party.
Was this song an Uncle Buck?
I don't know.
I
know Macaulay Culkin was an Uncle Buck. Hey, real quick, shout out to Todd and Jen, and they gave me a piece of their pizza.
They're awesome over there,
and then Todd said the magic words, "Do you want another piece?" And I'm like, what are you kidding me? So, yeah, tremendous pizza, tremendous people, tremendous song.
It is. And then Doug and Elisa are here. We know them from
I don't
the
much
4th
care
of
for
July
that Doug guy,
Paradise Day Watson. Sarah is here right behind you. We got a great bunch of people here at Sam Silver Circle. Fletcher and Shelby is our location here.
Easy to park, easy to get to.
Yes.
Great time always when we come out.
Phelan's the on-site engineer. James back in the studio. A busy show so far, but let's go ahead and get him on here. I'm going to go ahead and start. Before we get to the Cardinals and the Colts, and we got tickets to give away with Bud Light on a Blue Friday, 5 pair, in fact, here at Sam Silver Circle. We'd love to see you. But former Colts tight end Charles Arbuckle from the radio network also does college football. Joins us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Hey, because obviously you know a lot and study and do games collegiately too. What do you think about this IU matchup with Oregon coming up tomorrow afternoon in Eugene at 3:30?
I'm really intrigued by it, JMV. I really am, because I think, when you have a team like Oregon who's fast and they get after you, and then Kirk Cignetti's team is physical and they're fast. But I think there's a lot of things that are going to happen in that game that, you have to make the turn. And we talked about Mendoza. I don't think people realize what a good player he was going to be. You and I were on that early on. So I think this is going to be a lot of fireworks. Both teams can score. So to me, it becomes who can stop the other defensively. And I think that's what IU has to really look at. When you're playing in Oregon, that Autzen Stadium is loud. They're going to feel like they're right on top of you. I think I don't know if Indiana's played there. If they have, I don't remember the time that they have. But it is one of those places that they don't manufacture a lot of noise because it's so loud in there. I can remember playing there in Washington. Those two places on the road when I was in the Pac-10, now gone Pac-12, would be so doggone loud. I think Indiana has to get ready for that. And it could be a little damp, as it always is up in Oregon if it's a little bit of rain in the fall. So I look forward to a fast, physical game, and I think the team that makes the least mistakes will be the one that comes out on top.
Hey, Buck, it's Chris Hagan. Good to talk to you as always. I think maybe like in 2003, 4, 5, somewhere like that, I think Jerry DiNardo took IU out to Oregon, and maybe they won or they played it closer than you thought it would be. But my question to you is, you watch a lot of pro ball, you watch college ball, and we know this is a tough question because GMs struggle with it year in and year out. When you see a college player, be it Mendoza or somebody else, can you see things that tell you, okay, that's going to translate. This guy's going to play in the league. And do some guys just stand out and usually you're right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Dante Moore was one of those guys for Oregon who was at UCLA. We just didn't have the right system and setup for him, and I think they started him too early. And you could see now, having sat behind Dylan Gabriel, had a chance to really get comfortable and learn. So Fernando Mendoza, though, for something about him that I like is his physical toughness. I've always said that was the thing that stood out to me. And it's the ability to be anticipatory with your throws. I think a lot of people think you have to throw the ball really hard. That's not always the case. There's certain times where you have to do things with the football to get it in tight spots and windows. We watched that last night with Jackson Dart, the anticipation, how the receivers start to have a little pep in their step. Look at Daniel Jones. When he was really good at New York, he would get the ball in positions where guys could make plays, and they always talked about him having a catchable ball. Look at that at Indiana. In Indianapolis. So I look for quarterbacks that not only can throw hard, but also know how to throw with different velocities and different touches to different areas of the field and put the ball, even almost like a point guard that can just kind of loft things over at certain times. That's what you look for quarterbacks for me. I think sometimes offensive coordinators in the league get too enamored with their system as opposed to fitting the system to the player.
It's what I always say, Buck, about quarterbacks. They'll say, oh, he's got a rocket for an arm or a cannon for an arm. And I say, hey, yeah, that's great, but sometimes you just need a pellet gun. You don't need that rocket.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I saw a couple of guys. I was in Green Bay for a few weeks. Brett Favre damn near broke my hand a couple of times. I had gloves that were torn off. But Brett knew how to speed it up and he could spin it down. Now, Troy Aikman could throw a fastball, but Troy threw a catchable ball. Dan Marino, I'm going to tell you, when you stood on the sideline, you wanted to watch him because the ball would come out. But it was something about those guys that could play. I mean, so I've seen a lot of quarterbacks that had cannons for arms, but I've also seen guys like Don Majkowski who didn't have the strongest arm. But when Don was, in his heyday with Green Bay, and even when he got to us, Magic could really spin it. You just got to know, you love guys that know how to play the game and know how to get the ball to you. Jeff George was another one, guys. Well, sometimes in practice the ball didn't hit the ground, but when it got to the game, it wasn't the same thing. It just didn't translate.
So Charles Arbuckle, the Colts analyst as well, joins us on the Eddie Moore Automotive Group hotline, the former Colts tight end. So what do you make of this matchup coming up at Lucas Oil Stadium? You've got defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, formerly on the same staff. Is there anything meaningful in preparation behind that from two dudes that know each other as well as Gannon and Steichen do?
Yeah, it does, JMV, because they match wits against each other. They've talked about offense and defensive football. They battled each other in that capacity. So there are some things that, as a tendency of things they like to fall back on, even though the personnel is different, right? At the end of the day, you kind of have a mindset as a play caller, if you're a defensive play caller or an offensive play caller, for things that guys like to do or what they have a tendency to do. And I think that's what you have to guard against when you're looking at a game like this. The thing with Steichen, though, I think he's been able to really play some tough defenses. Like the one defense in particular, I thought he did a good job against was those guys over at, with Denver. Denver's a team that has a really good offense, or really good defense, and they were still able to score points. So that's the thing that I liked about that particular game, and I think that's going to be the same thing. This Cardinals defense is really, really tough. And I'm outside at a hospital, so pardon me for the noise in the background, but I think from a defensive standpoint, Lou has an understanding of if it's Kyler Murray, even if he's limited, he's a guy you have to stop his legs. And if it's Jacoby Brissett, some of the guys on the team have an understanding of what he does and what they're going to have to do to stop him.
It's Charles Arbuckle of the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I would absolutely agree with that particular assessment. I also think the Cardinals aren't, Charles, defensively especially. They've looked bad because their fourth quarters recently have looked really bad. But this is a team that maybe only having a couple of recognizable names, they can D you up if they get down to it.
Well, I agree with you. That's the thing for me, from a standpoint of a defensive football team, they got some dudes that can get after you. And Calais Campbell, how old is he? About 100 years old now, still playing? I mean, you got
yes.
Buda Baker, who just one of those guys that's been just really, really good at a high level for a long time. They on every level, they have guys that you don't always think about with big names, but just productive players. So, the Colts are going to have their work cut out for them against this defense. I mean, they're going to really have to play, and I think you hit the nail on the head. Not a lot of name guys, but a lot of guys that have some productive stats and can play and are going to force you to not make mistakes.
Buck, why are we seeing players continue to not know how to hold the football long enough to get into the end zone?
Man, for the life of me, I don't understand that one. I think it's just you've got, no matter how much you coach it, I don't know how many guys want to start thinking about their celebration. And what's interesting, think about how many celebrations Cam Bynum has had or Kenny Moore, and they've been defensive guys. I think they value the ball a little bit more. I've never really seen a defensive guy let the ball down too soon because he doesn't get it as much. Offensively, we're so used to catching it and running with it. No excuses, but it just seems to be one of those things, no matter how much you coach it, a guy's thinking more about the celebration than the actual finishing of the play. You got all that room in the end zone. Just get to the back of it, and then you can do whatever the hell you want to do.
It's 10 yards deep in the end zone. And granted, like, trust me, except for junior high, I've never crossed that goal line and had that moment. And when a guy's going in for maybe his first career score and there's so much going on, you've just made a great play. But it's just perplexing to me that you can't make sure you're well and good inside that door before you start doing anything besides running with the ball high and tight.
Yeah, it blows me away to see that continually happen. But I will say this, I think it's going to make A.D. Mitchell better. It's going to teach him how, and look at Jonathan Taylor had more time in the league, so I think it was easier for him, but that was still a hard thing, and he even has to answer questions about it now. But at the end of the day, I would be shocked if we see any other Colt players do it this year. Now, I can't say about next year, but if it happens, I would want to know what repercussions would be, because you can't do that. You can't give away the touchdown that you've worked so hard to get.
Well, last week when Amari DiMercado did it for the Cardinals, Coach Gannon lit him up on the sideline, and he gets fined $100,000 for getting into him and kind of giving him a shove. I know I know you probably got coached up a lot different than folks get coached up nowadays. And to me, I liked it when a coach was rough on me and let me know that I made a mistake. How do you think? How would you react to a coach if you made a bonehead play? If he lit you up, how would you have taken that back in your day?
Well, I had it happen quite a bit. The only thing with Gannon is when he pushed him, and I think there's a certain time and a place too. And I've had coaches that have lit me up and nobody even knew they did, because there's a way you can do it. When you can get in their face and you let them know and put the fear of God in them. But when you start moving your head and then you pushing people, hell, we all have been cussed out, and we looked at it like, whoa, nobody else saw but you. So I think there's a way you do it, and then definitely when you finish that game, because you might need that kid or whatever it is, some more. You don't want to take away what you know he has. And I've seen coaches dress somebody down, but they come back and say, hey, look, I need you back in this. Or that might have been too much. I might have gave you too much, but in the heat of the moment, that's going to happen. So, yeah, it's a sport that happens like that, man, and it's hard, especially when the margins of winning are so tight.
Hey, Charles, before I let you go, the Colts had an opportunity early on to get Jermaine Pratt. He goes to the Raiders, and then they cut him loose last week, and the Colts pick him up. Little one-year deal to assumingly play opposite with Joe Bocci going down on IR with a foot injury. Zaire Franklin, do you think this is going to work? And this is one of those situations where what the hell, you might as well with somebody that knows the defense and Lou Anarumo as well as Jermaine Pratt might.
I think it's a good place for them to be, because I think Jermaine Pratt is a guy that can make a difference for him. And I think the other thing you got to look at here is that he has been so productive where he's been. Now, the key for them is how do you get him up to speed and ready to play? Because that second linebacker, that weak side linebacker, has not played consistently well. And I think that's the thing you have to look at if you're the Colts fan.
It's Charles Arbuckle, Colts Radio Network, college football analyst and friend of the show, former Colts tight end on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Appreciate you hopping on today, man. We'll do it again. Enjoy the games this weekend, and we'll catch up next week, Charles. Thank you.
Hey, man, thanks a lot. And for all those folks that have been dealing with breast cancer or any kind of cancer, this is the month for it. So let's make sure we think about those folks.
You got that right. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
Charles Arbuckle is a tremendous dude on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I was just telling the story. My friend Mike Alcorn, who works at Express Pro Tire and Auto, came over to my house today. I had to have a battery out of the truck and into the truck, and he used to deal with Charles in Carmel back in the day at that particular location. And Mike is the best, by the way, at Express Pro Tire and Auto, US 31 and Stop 11 Road. Go in there, ask for Mike. Man, he will take care of you. But it is just great stories about Charles. Charles is just a tremendous guy and left an imprint on this community, and still does a lot of Colts Radio Network stuff as well.
Yeah, a long time ago, he would come on Fox 59, and the segment, I believe, was called Breaking It Down with Buck.
Mm-hmm.
He was good there. You can always tell guys even when they're players, like this guy's going to be in TV or radio or now in podcasting.
Yeah.
You can tell the guys that got a bright future ahead, and he was definitely one of those guys. And personality and knowledge is what you get from Buck.
What do you think about the baseball postseason to date right now? We got one more ALDS best of 5 decisive 5th and final game coming up tonight.
Scooble going tonight.
You a big Scooble guy, are you?
He's kind of a hard ass, but I like him. He's good, and he knows he's good. He's not like – he's different. He gets compared to Skeens, like who's the best pitcher in the game right now. I think Skeens just kind of lets his play do the talking. He'll strike out the side and walk off the field, where Scooble will kind of give you a gesture or, mouth something at you. I like both of them. But I do think the Mariners will win tonight.
It's weird. There's not a lot of consistency in either offense. I mean, it's just like they'll explode for an inning or two and then be dormant for the rest of the games. Really, both sides of the Tigers.
You know what, John? That's called the Big Bang Theory in baseball. And more than 70% of the time, the team that wins a baseball game will score more runs in one inning than the other team scores the entire game. So that's why you don't like to.
Ian Happ last night for the Cubs.
That's what happens. For the game before that, the Cubs scored 4 in the first. That's more than the Brewers scored the entire game. So that's why a lot of coaches they'll say, why don't you bunt him over? You don't like to do that because you get first and second. Last night, the Brewers had first and second, nobody out. They bunted him over, gave up an out. They didn't score. So go out there, use your 3 outs, and you're waiting for that big bang. You're waiting for that one big inning. And I think that'll be the case we see tonight and tomorrow in both these Game 5s is what will be that one big inning when you put up a crooked number and see who wins.
Who's impressed you the most this postseason? Has it been L.A., on to the NLCS again? Has it been the Blue Jays already awaiting their competition?
Blue Jays, I would say Blue Jays. They really should have swept the Yankees. The Yankees came back, but I think the Blue Jays are the team to beat across the board. And maybe not as sexy for fans, maybe not a lot of fans that know about them or like them here. Not a traditional team. But I know as far as ratings go on Fox, I know our GM is very much a fan of the Chicago Cubs.
I would imagine that to be true. I will say this about the Blue Jays. You mentioned tradition. And they have some notable traditional names of baseball. In the past, which is kind of cool. Not all their guys are playing right now, but obviously Vlad Guerrero is.
When you're at a bar like this and you like to play games, you play, or if you're around Jake Query, you'll play this. I'm going to name a baseball team. You tell me the first player that comes into your mind.
Okay,
name it. I said Brewers,
Cecil Cooper.
Okay, if I said Cubs,
Mike Vail.
What are you stupid? Mike Vail? Ryan Sandberg?
No. Larry Bittner.
All right.
No,
Toronto. I'm getting to that to get to this. Toronto Blue Jays.
George Bell.
George Taco Bell. Okay.
Here's the reason why, because I get still a lot of my knowledge from either baseball cards or Stratomatic.
Right.
And it's always reverts back to that particular era. I'm going to do you. Houston Astros.
JR.
The same. James Rodney Richard.
When I was in the first pro baseball game I went to, my dad took us to Baltimore, and it was the Orioles played the Blue Jays, and I got a program, and some guy signed it, and it was like 20 years later. I'm like, I wonder who signed this for the Blue Jays. I was in the bullpen. I go, it might be a Hall of Famer. It was some yip-yap name I never heard of, so I don't know whose worthless autograph I got, but I still have it from
I like that playing that game. Let's do some more of that, too. New York Mets.
Gary Carter.
I was going to say Darryl Strawberry for you, but you didn't say him. But Gary Carter's should be more noted for the Expos than he is for the Mets.
Dodgers.
Manny Mota.
Steve Garvey is who I think of.
No, like that. Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn. Got to be Tony
That's
Gwynn.
easy right there.
Braves.
Did I just say Manny Mota?
Atlanta Braves.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Who was I just – what?
Atlanta Braves.
Andres Thomas.
It's not the game of who's the most obscure player you can think of.
I'm not trying to think of the most obscure.
It's like, who do people think? I'd say
Dale Murphy.
Dale Murphy is my guy.
All right. Got another one for you? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Cardinals.
Keith Hernandez.
Stan Musial. Keith Hernandez.
Bruce Sutter. Yeah, got to be Ozzie Smith.
All right, quick break. We'll come back. Sam Silver Circle. More of that. We'll have to do that with NFL and NBA, too.
Walter
That's
Payton.
a fun game right there.
Roger Staubach.
That's going to entertain everybody for hours, I think, right here. Hey, I did want to ask you this. For our farmers that are out there, I cannot remember this legend. But when they're called woolly worms, because I saw a ton of them right across the road, does that mean anything as far as winter is concerned? Is there like an urban legend of if you see a lot of woolly worms crossing the road, it means a cold winter? Or, it's the strike. All right, I was just kind of curious about it. I saw some earlier today, and I kind of wondered what the woolly worms means in farmers' lore around here.
I like my idea of naming players better than your worm question.
Yeah. I mean, your angle was much better than mine. Quick break. We'll come back. Harris Leisure Park Race of the Day on the way in the next 20 as well. 50 in betting, 50 in dining from Harris Leisure Park Racing and Casino in Anderson. Bud Light Blue Friday, the legendary Sam Silver Circle. We're at Fletcher. We are at Shelby. And your chance to win, we got 5 pair of Cardinals Colts tickets to give away. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Yes, of course. The holy hand grenade of Antioch. Right. 1, 2, 5. 3, sir. 3.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Oh, we love the fact that you're hanging out with us, Sam Silver Circle on a Bud Light Blue Friday. Hagen, can you identify the song?
I believe it's Kenny Loggins.
This is Loggins. The title of the song would be?
Is this from a soundtrack?
It is.
Is it from, it's not from Top Gun, is it?
Top Gun, it is.
Is this when they played volleyball?
Playing with the boys. Kenny Loggins, the volleyball scene, where Tom Cruise played two-man beach volleyball, shirtless in jeans.
With the Iceman.
Yes, he was. The Iceman. Neither one of them could play a lick, but they looked pretty good right there. And then Tom Cruise had to go because they had to go give him a little McGillis.
Good gravy.
All right, the 2025 Monon Spike match between IU and Purdue is October the 16th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. James, let's give somebody a pair of tickets for the 2025 Monon Spike, IU and Purdue. 7 o'clock, October the 16th, number 9 at 239-1070. You are a winner. You can go check out the Monon Spike match, October the 16th.
All right, John, because I'm a true friend, and I would never post a picture of you of you eating a piece of steak that
Did
you
you
didn't
send me
want posted.
that? Yeah, no.
I just posted your photo of you from 2015.
That is my
That is
God.
John Michael
That is me right there.
Vincent.
Am I pregnant in this picture?
With the twins. I remember when they were
I
born.
think I'm having a baby. Having my baby.
You look a little bit like Peter Griffin.
Good Lord Almighty.
Hey, Lois, let's go to the track.
That's terrible.
Look at you now, though, John. If ever there was a 5-star endorsement recommendation.
See, seriously, somebody right now should send that to Thomas and Premier Weight Loss and go, wait a minute. If you want to lose, well, this is what this clown looked like in 2015 right here.
I think me and Des look pretty good, though.
And Des looks outstanding right there.
I think, yeah, those were the good old days. Probably doing a remote out there at the track.
Look at my hair's even whacked. What did I do? Did I sleep in the back of the van the night before?
There was a lot going on. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, that's not a good look out of me right there, is it?
Sarah, one of several people to say, that's not John.
I think I may have some man boobs working there, too. I can say that is okay.
If you want to enjoy the photo, make sure you give me a follow. That's at Chris Hagen Indy, INDY.
See, you got to admit, though, the fact that I, like, the whole steak eating thing, that's funny you brought that up at Sullivan Steakhouse years ago. You didn't talk to me for a month after
it was 2 days.
You were pissed.
And then because I would always ask, but you have done better now about, is it okay if I post this picture?
Absolutely do.
Do you mind if I? Because the Chris Hagen brand is very valuable. You have to make sure you don't do anything
let me tell you
to
this.
affect the integrity of the brand.
The outside world has no idea what I know and what I keep to myself.
Until he starts saying it right now because he's had a couple of Bud Lights. For instance, Hagen, I would never, ever say.
For instance. Sam Silver Circle, Bud Light Blue Friday. 5 pair of Cardinals Colts tickets to give away. We would love to see you here. There's still plenty of time. I know you've got high school football tonight. Like Cathedral fans, this is like a Cathedral bar. I know they're on the road at Covington, Kentucky tonight, too. But a lot of time for you to stop by and enjoy this as well. 239-1070. Hey, James, is Adam still available on hold right here? I want to make sure he's still there.
He is.
Adam, welcome to the show. How are you, brother?
Hey, how you doing, John?
We're just reminiscing about my 2015 fat ass picture right here.
Yeah. I've been hearing it all day today on the show. Hey, it's good when you got friends like that. Like my friend that I've had for 20 years that you met.
I know, man. What a change. I just asked the question, Hagen. Who's that fat dude? That's outstanding, right there. What do you got, Adam? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping. I got a couple things for you. I hope your mom had a good birthday. I hope you guys had a good time. And
yes,
I mean, I'm hoping we pull this win out because I mean, we're looking good. Why, keep the train rolling. I mean, why give up now?
This is one. Hey, Adam, and before you close it out here, this is one much like it was last week, to where, I mean, you don't want to look back and have regrets about this. And this is one of those games coming up to me on Sunday. Looks like Kyler Murray did practice today, although I think Jacoby Brissett did take some reps. But Kyler Murray, Cardinals quarterback, was back at practice in Arizona earlier today. Just so you should know.
Well, that'll be all right. I'm sure we can handle that. And ain't no problem. Big Grove's coming back. Alex Pierce, the deep threat's coming back. You got Buckner. I mean, we're good to go. I got a couple more things. I'll be in Indy tomorrow, and then I got to shoot back for Sunday. There's a 5K I'm doing tomorrow at Military Park. So it'll be a trail, not trail. It'll be a paved run from there all the way through downtown past the White River area.
Yeah.
And then back, and then I got to shoot back Sunday for the football game, and then my high school is coming out tonight at 7-0, and hoping that we walk away with a win for that tonight.
So, where you're running along the White River, what trail is that?
I'm looking at it now, and it says meandering alongside the scenic river provides an escape while still in the heart of Indy.
You going to jump over some of the dudes passed out down there, too? It'd be like yeah. It'd be like, what is that, equestrian? One of the horses, when you jump over stuff, you can you can do that.
Yeah.
Steeplechase. It's like a steeplechase for you coming up this weekend.
It says it's a tree-lined military park. Follow the course west, and you'll hop on the White River Trail.
Well, I can tell you this. If you run down to the bridge, Raymond Street Bridge over the White River, you can jump over some dudes passed out down there.
I mean, hell, if they're in the way, it's part of the race, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It'd be like steeplechase with a horse right there, but just you running.
Just challenge it up. I'm down for the challenge.
All right, man. Good to hear from you, Adam.
I'll see you Sunday, brother.
All right, man, you got it. Touchdown Town for me, American Family Insurance Touchdown Town with the Colts pregame huddle. Prior to that, we'll start at 9 a.m. with BullseyeEventGroup.com and the Colts VIP tailgate. Hey, James, speaking of which, since I just brought that up, you want to give away a couple passes to BullseyeEventGroup.com, Colts VIP tailgate coming up on Sunday right now. You want to do that again?
Let's do it.
Kyle Kinnett architects this. All you can eat, all you can drink. It's a fantastic time. Kelsey Murphy has all the food for you, too. And I mentioned DJ Skids, who entertains on the JMV Takeover with the mini mixes, also will entertain. And Laura Steele's going to MC there. So it is going to be indoor, outdoor, a fantastic time. Number 30 at 317-239-1070 on our text line right now. Number 30, talk to James right here, and James will set you up with a couple of passes with BullseyeEventGroup.com and the Colts VIP tailgate Sunday, presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Hagen.
That's a fun hang. When I've had opportunities to go to that, I mean, you can't beat that. That's legit. Unfortunately, I have a job and I have to work on Sundays. I can't get into. That's the one thing. I've been to so many venues across the country for Colts games.
Right on.
You see opposing fans, and they see you. They're like, "Hey, you want a brat and a beer?" I'm like, I'm wearing a suit. I'm going to work. This sucks. But it is fun to see at every venue, how they have their pregame routines. And I think Indy has one of the best of them when you talk about that tailgate there.
All right, a little bit more. 75% chance of precipitation in Eugene coming up tomorrow. You think that affects IU all whatsoever? Wet stuff, if that's the case?
We were talking about IU the other day in the football program, and usually when you see things get turned around, it's a gradual, they're getting better, they're doing it. But Cignetti gets there, and they go to the playoffs the first year. Here they are again, top 10. I think he's like 15-2 since he's been there. His only losses are the two teams that played for the national championship last year. So they've beaten everybody they're supposed to. They've tried to hang around in against the two teams that beat them. So this will be, it's the biggest game in college football tomorrow. I don't think you can argue that. It's got Big Ten implications as far as the championship game. It's got playoff implications, two teams that might be on their path to maybe meeting again, not once but twice. So I'm excited to see what IU brings to the table. I don't think the weather, really matters. Both teams playing the same thing. But let's see. So many national doubters have been hating on the Hoosiers ever since last year when they made the playoffs. Well, here's another chance to kind of make a statement and tell them to shut the hell up.
Is it something where you look at it, IU okay, win or lose, as long as they don't get blown out in the whole national scheme of things?
It was the funny thing last year, they didn't make the Big Ten championship game, and that might have kept them in the playoffs. So I don't think they necessarily have to make the Big Ten title game to get in the playoffs. But certainly, given some of the national storylines, you don't want to go out there and get beat 47-10.
No.
But I think no matter what the loss is like, if they run the table from there on out, I think they're fine.
It's Purdue, Minnesota tomorrow, NC State, Notre Dame, Ball State, Western Michigan, all a part of the Saturday schedule here locally as well. We got one decisive Game 5 ALDS later on tonight with Detroit and Seattle. We talked about that. What do you think about the Cubs in Milwaukee with their own decisive Game 5 of the NLDS tomorrow night in Milwaukee?
Well, as we talked about earlier, the Cubs have been living off one big inning. Can one big inning be the difference tomorrow night? And I know they always talk about home field advantage, home court advantage, whatever the sport. But it's going to be, you got to imagine, it's going to be electric up there in Milwaukee. So I think for the Cubs, they're going to need to strike first like they have a couple times. A big first inning would go a long way. Put the pressure. The deeper you go into a game with a lead, the more pressure you put on the bats, regardless of the team. So I think the Cubs don't need to fall behind early, or else you could get away pretty badly.
You got that, and then obviously.
By the way,
yes.
John, just so you know, you'll be able to watch that Tigers-Mariners game tonight on Fox 59. You'll be able to watch IU Oregon tomorrow on CBS 4. You also have Ohio State, Illinois on Fox 59 tomorrow. And then the Colts, Cardinals Sunday on Fox 59. What more could you ask for?
And soon to be, you get to watch Jeopardy at 7:30 when you guys own NBC.
We're just going to buy every TV station.
Just everything, yeah. Just buy everybody.
I get nervous because the more stations we buy, the more actual talent there is, on the roster. And that's when I kind of get sent into retirement a little early.
Depends on what you're talking about, talent.
So that's why I'm enjoying as many free beverages as I can.
Yeah, just why don't you do it?
I mean, why it's here. Yeah, it is great though. CBS and Fox have so many great things on TV as far as sports goes. And you got John on Sunday nights, always a ratings winner on Sunday nights, where we talk to JMV with or without pants, given his particular mood that night.
Zero pants.
So yeah, and we're coming up on. I think I saw it. We're in the middle of 47 straight days with either college or NFL football. We're coming up on those days where you're going to have NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB all on the same day. So if you're a sports fan like all of us are, we're about to hit that sweet spot of about 2 or 3 weeks worth of the best you can have.
All right, we'll close it out on the other side. Hagan and I, Sam Silver Circle on a Bud Light Blue Friday, where we're going to be next. We got an interesting dynamic coming up in November. I'll explain to you in further days. Also, a road show next Tuesday. I'll explain on the other side. Before that, 50 in betting, 50 in dining. Heritage Park Racing and Casino in Anderson. Do you have your horse? Hopefully you do, because somebody is going to win the Friday edition. This is the Heritage Park Race of the Day.
With JMV.
I am the cream, the cream of the crop. And there is no one that does it better.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Shout out to Rick Kinley. The horse was Corona, paid $2.40 on a $2 bet, $2 exacta, $6.80. 50-cent trifecta was $2.60. Your Harris Leisure Park race of the day on this Friday. 50 in betting, 50 in dining. To Rick, Harris Leisure Park Racing and Casino in Anderson, Tuesday through Friday. We do this every week right here on the. Keep this up, James, if that's okay. Every Tuesday through Friday, and horse racing going on at Harris Leisure Park Racing and Casino in Anderson until November. Shout out to Tony Renz. Thank you, Tony. I got a bunch of shots outside right there, Hagen. One-hit wonder, Hagen. Who is it?
Hang on, wait. I can't step on Lamal singing for Kaja Gugu.
Lamal, buddy.
I got a fun fact about this after.
Please do.
Wait for it. You must be strong.
Is this a one-hit wonder considering Lamal had a solo hit?
Wait for it. Hey, girl.
Move a little closer.
Move a little closer. Oh. Here goes. You can't beat that right there. You want to hear the fun fact?
Yeah.
Of course, Lamal, lead singer, would later go on to record a hit with The Never-Ending Story from the feature film. The hot chick in the Too Shy Shy video married a famous comedian. Who did she marry? And is still married to this very day.
Still married today to a famous comedian.
The famous comedian went to huge, larger fame on Saturday Night Live.
Ah.
He was the host of Weekend Update.
That would be Dennis Miller.
Correct. Dennis Miller married the gal from the Too Shy video.
Can you name all the hosts of Weekend Update?
I thought you were going to say, "Could you name all the members of Kaja Gugu?"
Yeah, no doubt.
And I was just going to.
That may be
I was
easier.
just going to call them surrender. Weekend Update. Chevy Chase.
Yes.
Kevin Nealon. I'm not going in order.
That's okay.
Chevy Chase, Kevin Nealon, Dennis Miller, Norm Macdonald, Brad Hall.
Yes, Brad Hall.
Good pull there. Married to who?
Brad Hall. Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Ooh, yes.
Thank you.
Jane Curtin, Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Jane, you ignorant. I'm not going to say the last word.
It's okay.
Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, Seth Meyers.
That's a good run you got going here, man.
Thank you. Who's the ones doing it now?
Michael Che
and Colin Jost. Yeah. You got Colin. How long did Colin do it?
What did Colin Jost?
Colin Quinn.
He was, Colin Quinn as well. Did Colin Jost do his stand-up already down in Bloomington? Was he not going to do stand-up?
I saw the ads for it. I don't know if he already did it because I'm 100 years old.
Yeah.
That's been a great. It's been a great run. Because of when my age and when I was doing stand-up comedy, my favorite is still Dennis Miller. He was so good, so just salty and sarcastic and dry.
I saw him on the street in San Antonio for the Final Four once upon a time, and I walked up because he was a UCLA fan, and UCLA was there. He said, "How you doing, Cha-Cha?" But he wouldn't talk to me very long because Doug and I were together.
He was in one of those. He was in one of the convertibles for the Indy 500 one year, and he was driving by. I said, "Hey, watch the hair, Cha-Cha!" And he started. he pointed at me and started laughing. But yeah, we got. Don't forget all the games and all the sports on TV this week, including the Blue Zone at 11:30 CBS 4, Colts game at 1 o'clock, Fox 9 Sports Overtime with JMV 10:35 Sunday night.
You got that right. Windschuler spreadability you can find at your favorite grocer's refrigerator. That is Windschuler's. Phelan, great job out of you, man. Thank you very much. Phelan Watson, the on-site engineer. James back in the studio. Oh, look at Sarah and Doug and Lisa hanging out with us today. I love our folks here at Sam Silver Circle Bud Light. Blue Friday. We're going to give away those Cardinals Colts tickets. JMV Takeover tomorrow night, 6 until midnight on B105.7. Cannot wait to hear from you. 2:30 tomorrow. Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers. It's IU in Oregon, 93 WIBC. Pacers Thunder here on the Fan tomorrow evening, too. We've got Colts Happy Hour at Dead Ahead, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan. Man, you guys have a great weekend.